What's good, everyone? It's MJO23Dan back with another video. Today's video, I want to go over the women's release of the Air Jordan 1 UNC to Chicago. So let's check this out. Alright, so I was on the fence about this one. Of course, with women's releases, a lot of men like it, and a lot of these releases were only exclusive to Chicago. The Pack, for example. A lot of people were really mad that Jordan Brand, Nike, had not decided to release those online. Again, a lot of people were really upset. I helped push that story forward since 2012, as long as I've been covering it. You guys can go check back in my library, Google it, whatever. I've been talking about this thing for so long, and for not to be available outside of Chicago pretty much, and not giving the opportunity for real fans, real collectors to be able to own a piece of history like that, it's really deflating. So, hopefully with all the scraps that are left from Chicago, Nike will decide to release those online, or if there's some sort of shock drop, we'll see. But so these were one of the releases from All-Star Weekend, and this was a general release. Again, women's sizes. This is a size 12W here on the box. It marks it as a 12 in women's. I initially was trying to go for an 11.5, but my store locally in town here didn't have half sizes. So I tried the FLX program, Foot Locker's new program that replaced the old program on the app. And it is definitely harder, guys. Like, you have to spend to get points and spend to get head start. And on top of that, you spend the points and you don't even get them back if you lose out. Now, I've always thought that points like that is earned, yes. You use points, yes. But if you lose out on a release like this, or any other release that is going to be coming up in the next few months to the year or whatever, you should be able to roll over those points, or maybe take like a simple penalty on the points if you use full head start. And, again, just roll over the minutes to, or the head start to another release that you would like. I think it's really sucky that people lose their points for a gamble that they take and they don't win. My thing is, hopefully they consider all those things. Like, it was just terrible. Like, all this stuff was happening before All-Star, and, a lot of people really wanted the shoes. This is pretty much our Super Bowl of sneakers. And for Nike and Jordan Brand to not consider people outside of Chicago on these releases, it sucks. So anyways, if you guys follow me on Instagram, I went on this long rant about things, and I'm really, because I got the pack gifted to me, like, I really was pushing for people to get that shoe. So it would have been nice to see that, in the hands of the majority of people, even the people that have signed the petition. Like, that would have been wonderful. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into what this is right here. Alright guys, so just checking out the box again. These retailed for $170, and released on February 14, 2020. So this is the women's Air Jordan 1 High OG in black, dark powder blue, and gym red. It has the women's sizing in big font. Size 12 is mine. Style number is CD0461 and color code is 046. So in women's sizing, you typically want to go down a half size. So if you're a women's size 12, that translates to a size 10.5 in men's. Again, I tried to go for an 11.5. The store that I bought it at didn't have half sizes. Although the half sizes do exist, I was lucky enough to come out with at least one pair. So it's in this Fearless type box. Open it up. One stamp on the inside of the box top. Regular tissue paper, nothing special about that. No Unite paper, nothing. My receipt. And then on the inside of the box, you got the YCM sticker right on the side. Okay, so here are the shoes. Nice leather construction all the way around. It's very soft, all tumbled leather. You guys will really appreciate the feel of this right out of the box. Way different from the 85 High and the New Beginnings Air Jordan 1 in cut, in feel, leather type, you name it. It also came with a Nike Air hang tag in red, and it's a leather tumbled piece. This is the UNC part of the Air Jordan to Chicago in red. Got the red bottoms on both. People ask me questions about like women's sizing being a little bit more narrow than the men's sizing. I did not feel that in this case. So if you wear a 10.5 in men's, go with the 12. It's going to be true to size. It's the same fit all the way around, in my opinion. So you don't need to worry about like snug fit and everything like that. It's pretty much the same as men's. Another thing that people brought up when I posted my picture on Instagram is that the blue here is not true to UNC, meaning it's not that baby blue color that we're all accustomed to, but nonetheless it's got that nice blue on there along with the full tumble leather on the upper. If you guys feel this leather, you guys are going to be really surprised on the quality of this. Again, something out the box, it's going to be super comfortable. The types of laces in here, it's got some flat laces, just a little bit different from what we normally see on Air Jordan 1s. They didn't come with an additional pair of laces that I see here. The insole of the shoe. On the right shoe, you get a red insole with Nike Air branding. On the left shoe, you get the UNC color with Nike Air branding right in there. The feel on the inside and the interior, it's that nylon feel. Not nylon like the tongue, but you know what I mean. Good amount of padding all the way around. Feels great. Now let me go ahead and introduce to you guys a comparison between these and say like the Bred Toe ones or the band ones from 2016. Okay, so here are my 2016 band ones, and here are the Bred Toe ones from 2018. So I would say it's pretty much in line with what we got here, except for the only difference that I see here is the interior lining. You can see that the 2016 has that mesh liner throughout the interior, whereas the UNC to Chicago does not have that mesh interior, has that nylon. The rear here, you can see all the tumbled leather on the UNC to Chicago. That's not present on the band ones. Same thing going on with the Bred Toe ones. So I think the plus there is that if you do love tumbled leather, the softness of it and everything like that, you want to go with the UNC to Chicago, because I've even seen people converting this shoe into this shoe. Now, look what happened with all the glitter marks on the 2016. I brought this up in a previous video before. It's just something that has happened over the years with the black leather over time, and there's really no way about it. Hopefully that doesn't happen with the UNC to Chicago or any of the previous ones that just recently released. But as far as everything else, like, I always felt that the feel of the 2016 is pretty much the same as this, other than the black leather portions of the shoe. So they switched that up. But I was seeing people converting this into the band one, and it looked great. But, you know, pretty much anything other than that, you know, Air Jordan 1s, they're going to tweak some things over time. It's such a popular shoe these days, and you guys are always buying them, so I don't think that's going to stop anytime soon. The Jordan 1 is just really versatile when it comes to collaborators. You can change up any of the panels here, add some things. It's just the different types, I guess, now where we have the 85 high or the new beginnings with the straight back, the different tooling on the bottom, the type of leather that's used and all that. So you know, 170 for an Air Jordan 1 these days, pretty much 200 for the 85 high. It depends what type of, I guess, consumer you are or collector that you are. If you guys want that higher or that more OG cut, you're going to be paying more versus something that we've always, well, not always, but recently I've been getting with Air Jordan 1s and sticking with this. Like, I appreciate both. If, you know, Jordan Brand is giving us the option whether or not we want to get that collector shape of the Air Jordan 1 being $200 or just going with your regular Air Jordan 1. Nonetheless, both shoes are expensive. I mean, an Air Jordan 1 with the original technology in the shoe, those back in 1985 were $65. I know people are going to say, well, inflation, da-da-da. But I think it's just really something to consider. Like, do you guys want to go ahead and pay $200 for an Air Jordan 1? Because, you know, in my opinion, I think Jordan 1 should be like $150 or less. If they're collabed, yes, it would get special treatment because, you know, those are special makeups and they're limited, but that's that. Okay, so that is my review of the UNC to Chicago women's Air Jordan 1. Let me know what you guys think about this pair. If you guys were able to pick it up, let me know what your thoughts about it are. Even what are your thoughts about the new beginnings leather? If you have the 85 high, what do you guys think about that leather in comparison to this? Is this something more your style? Or do you appreciate the details of the new cut of the Air Jordan 1? Anyways, leave all that down below. Subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. You can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And I will see you guys on the next video. Take care.